All right, Parker, bring us into ClockTower for the last time.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Clocking Those Towers, the ClockTower post show. My final post show.
Do you want to address that since the audience technically has not had any word of this since?
No.
yet?
Haha, you got Game of Thrones, motherfucker. No, not a joke. I am bowing out of the show. I had a great first season run. I'm very proud of what we did, but things are really ramping up in my line of work, and my survivability needs to kind of have more attention paid to it.
Yeah.
And with everything going on, I kind of need to take a step away from the show. I am not, like, dipping completely. I'm not just like, fuck you, suck my dick, here's my resignation letter, as much as I am like, I'm taking a step away. You guys keep doing what you do, whatever you need from me, I'll do my best to help, but I need to go do my own stuff now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I appreciate everybody being very understanding.
And we're all really excited for you to, like, go do all this stuff. But speaking of, to the rest of everybody listening to this fucking post show, if you haven't seen Who's His streams and everything like that, you should go check those out as well as... Shit. Yeah. Sick.
There are 3 things you can check out if you want to support me or just check in with what I'm doing. I'm on Twitch, twitch.tv/who'sistthis. Currently I'm 11 away from affiliate.
Let's go.
And hopefully by the time this comes out, on my way to partner. We'll see. D&D Themes, which is my now growing business where I compose original Dungeons & Dragons custom themes for your D&D characters.
Or Pathfinder or whatever you need.
Or Pathfinder, yeah, whatever. Any tabletop role-playing game. And then you can also find both of those on my website, who'sisthis.com, which will be up by the time this comes out. Which then you can also find my new project and everything that goes along with that.
And we'll have all of Who's We'll have like a Who's This link tree in the description of every video anyway.
Which I appreciate.
So.
Yeah.
And just to clear it up as well, all of my music that was done for the first season will still be used in season 2 of ClockTower. That is now just ClockTower music, co-owned by Ellie and I. That is now going to be used for those specific settings. So if you have anything piratey or tropical, you'll hear that pirate music again. If you have anything kind of detective and noir, you'll hear that Valence music again, so on and so forth. And any other new music that comes from the show is not from me. It is from Ellie or anybody else. With that being said, I wanted to make sure Rock died.
Yeah, that was... I was... My softy heart, as soon as Parker was like, hey, I gotta step away from the show, I was like, you know, totally, I've always supported that if anybody needs to step away from the show, that's what's more important. Life comes first. I love this show, and I'm so thankful to everybody else who loves this show, and I'm gonna do my best to do everything I can to keep it going at all times. But you know what? People have lives, and as Parker was just saying, they've got a lot of projects going on, and like, I'm really, really proud of you. But I was like, okay, so we can do an arc where Rock like steps away and like decides to retire and lives a good life, and Parker was like, no, feed me to a bad guy. And I was like, ooh, but the fans are gonna hate me. Yeah. And Parker was like, no, feed me to a bad guy.
I wanted nothing more. And in all honesty, what you ended up getting was tamer than what I wanted.
Well,
I wanted it to be sudden, swift, and gone. I wanted Rock to be on top of the world.
We compromised a little
bit. We compromised, which I'm grateful we did. But my initial idea was I wanted, like, Rock to finally, like, because Rock has already kind of come out into this character arc. Like, Rock is a better person. Rock is still an annoying motherfucker who has to argue the syntax and tiny things about a containment field.
Rock did a cool thing.
Rock finally did a cool thing after ages of not being able to do a cool thing.
Spun a card.
I wanted it to be you guys look at Rock having the time of his life, and then his neck gets snapped, and you guys go back to the clock tower. That's like what was my initial idea.
I'm giving you a heads up now. You started like Jaeger was doing better.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Jaeger was doing better. You pushed him down the Batman path.
I wish you guys could have seen Kball's eyebrows go through her skull.
Welcome to becoming Thomas Wayne.
No. Oh no.
Oh no.
So what ended up in the actual episode is very much a compromise from my initial idea, plus what Ellie wanted added into the show, and I think it was the best case scenario. Personally.
I agree. I think it went better than we could have done if we actually planned it. I was started to say this before the post show, but Parker and I didn't plan a lot of that. No. It was like, Parker's gonna die, like, Rock's gonna die, I gotta make this happen, I gotta make it happen naturally, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna fucking do it. And then I was like, I cannot describe the level of stress that was in my heart when I told everybody to roll for hold person. And I didn't say hold person because I was keeping that on the back burner because I needed to fucking change that roll. But I had to roll, and Kball failed miserably, and I was like, yeah! And this is a little scene behind the scenes, but Cal couldn't be here today, so you'll hear their voice. They're gonna go back and redo everything I did as Sam as an NPC. And as every DM knows, sometimes players can't show up.
Sometimes players can't show up.
Sometimes players can't be here for whatever life reasons. And so I was like, well, Sam doesn't actually have to roll. Sam fails automatically, and Trinket failed. And then I was like, I just need Rock to pass this roll. I just need Rock to pass this roll. And so Rock passed the roll, and I was like, oh, fuck it, thank God. Everybody's held. Rock is the only person who can do anything. I was like, in my head, I was just screaming. I was like, go touch the containment field. Go do it. Go grab that shit.
The thing I appreciated about the scenario is you and I have been playing D&D for a while, and we know each other's brains when it comes down to problem solving, to where you are obviously better than I at that. However, if you give me a scenario, I can pretty much work out easily enough like what the answer is. There were a couple times I was looking at you, I couldn't tell if you could read by my eyes of like, I hope this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Because the way you set it up is like Trinket and Sam, you can't help them right now. Puppeteer Master, Rock's not dumb enough to try to kill that man in a couple swings right before Trinket can die.
Well, also, it's like you didn't really see whatever was fucking with that guy. You saw the guy.
No, yeah.
And he is already dead.
I will say, did not plan it. I'm very happy with the beautiful Chekhov's gun of the containment field.
Yeah, that...
Solely because, like...
Why would it not kill you instantly? Why does it kill you in 40 seconds? That doesn't
make any sense.
Dude, I was this close
was
before everything fell apart to just going and fucking grabbing it. I was like, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but oh my God. Just touch the thing. Because that's all Trinket really wants.
Yeah.
Is to just touch the thing and go home.
And I will totally admit, one of the things that kind of got imbued into Rock as a character is those are just Parkerisms. Like, oh, it's a containment field, it kills you instantly in about 40 seconds. My brain literally goes, that's not instant. So I just decided to, like, at a certain point playing this character, I just decided to be like, let me just put that into everything.
It also, like, really helped me, because, like, I was in my brain, like, I gotta figure out a way, like, a surefire way to kill Rock without letting D&D mechanics fuck this up for me. I was like, this is for the show. I can't, like, this is planned. It has to happen. I'm trying to figure out, like, for people who, like, don't know, hello, everyone. Most of ClockTower is improv, not planned. I'm a very wing it, play it by ear kind of a DM. I always have been. I'm better now than I used to be. I do make bullet points. I do, like, do a little bit of planning and structure as to what's supposed to happen. But I just feel like it's way more natural if you create the world in front of the players rather than forcing somebody to go down a path. But when things have to happen, it's like one of the biggest struggles for me because I don't want to force anybody to do anything. And I, like, 100%, it was Parker's idea to kill Rock, so I just had to present the opportunity. And I was like, okay, here's a force field that kills you in 40 seconds. And Parker immediately was like, why doesn't it kill you instantly? And I was like, oh, thank you. Now I have a way to, like, the dude was like, I didn't make the force field. I don't know why it's like this. And then it even, like, somebody else was like, oh, maybe there's an antidote. And I was like, yeah, that's the reason. This is this is what it is. There's an antidote that you can't know about because bad guys would know about it. But, like, obviously a thing that kills you instantly or in 40 seconds is, like, pretty bad to have in a fucking public space. So maybe there's a way to fix it.
I also have to say, looking back on that moment, thank you, Kball and Trinket, for being the best straight man in all of these scenarios. And I know that when, I won't say who, but when a new motherfucker comes into this seat, you are going to be a perfect straight man for that motherfucker.
I'm so excited.
There is for high audience, there is going to be another member of the cast joining ClockTower to fill in.
Yeah, we got to showcase our class.
They're not, same with Kball coming in when Darby had to step away from the show. They're not replacements, they're new members, they're new ClockTower agents. And they will be Path of the North, but they'll be a different kind of Path of the North, how Trinket is a different kind of Path of the North than Reagan, or Path of the South than Reagan was, just so that we can showcase the class like Kball was saying.
Yeah, and also, at least in my opinion, I've always liked how ClockTower agents are mantles. kind of similar to superheroes. Hear me out. How like
Gave a weird look to Parker.
yeah, you did. I had to explain. I realized my brain didn't talk as fast as my tongue. One of my favorite things in superhero comics, superheroes in general, is where there's a superhero that has more of a mantle than just him.
I didn't set a timer.
Of course you did.
You never do.
Of course you did.
Are you saying Clock Tower agents are like Spider-Man?
More so like Green Lanterns, but yes.
That makes more sense, yeah, actually.
Yeah, that's
How long do you think we've been going for? Like
We're red lanterns.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
They're like Green Lanterns or like
We're like Black Lanterns, to be fair.
Oh Jesus!
We're Black Lanterns, Red Lanterns, something like that. We wouldn't be good guys.
Y'all are the hot topic D&D podcast.
I hate that you say that.
Oh
Ellie,
no!
you made a man's face do the wiggle.
Yeah, it was good.
You are the hot topic of D&D podcast.
Look, it's an eldritch.
Crawling in my skin.
It's literally an eldritch
These
fiction
Asians
podcast.
cannot heal.
What'd you just say?
What'd you
Agents.
You did.
Agents.
Oh.
Okay.
What the fuck did y'all think I just said? Wow.
You know?
Bias in this
No,
room.
we all heard it. We all went, what?
Wow.
Don't blame us for your Freudian slip.
But no, this is actually a great segue because I do want to address this. I feel bad because like we're not making this show for kids.
No.
It's not.
But like
It never has been.
there are like definitely like mature topics in this show. People die. There's gonna be brutal fight scenes. I almost edited the disclaimer to be even more clear on like
No.
fight scenes get heavy. This is not like I'm not pulling punches. People are gonna die. NPCs are gonna die, and dying is not pretty. It's not nice. It's a Game of Thrones level like.
You should put your headphones back.
I mean, I think all these kids saw Endgame.
I make fun of you for it, but it's also because I've loved it. It's that thing of like it has always set us apart from everything else.
We keep pausing, sorry, because one of the lights keeps turning on and off. I think it's because of the dimmer box, not because of the power.
Flickering the
Yeah.
lights.
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
I've always enjoyed that because you kind of look at other things and sometimes they pull punches and they're like more overtly sexual or anything like that. Ours is oddly enough more grounded in reality, and I've always enjoyed that. However, sometimes they do get to a point where you make a man's face do the wiggle as he's like, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Oh, good. It was scary then. It was
Oh, yeah.
It was. Jesus Christ.
I see. Here's the thing. I'm always worried because like something's wrong with my brain and I don't see the uncanny valley the way other people do, but I love leaning into it as much as I fucking possibly can. So I was like, what would be scary? I was like, hands reaching under somebody's skin make their mouth move to talk.
So, you know that feeling that people, well, I don't know if you get that feeling. I have trypophobia. So, for me personally, watching the scene from fucking The Mummy.
I hate it. I don't want to think about it. I'm talking about the scarabs.
Yes.
I don't want it.
It was that in my head.
Traumatizing as
And
a
I went,
child.
In this one room, I saw the 0 to 100 where everybody sits. I'm at 50 because I don't know that scene. You two are at 100, and Kball's at 0 because she went, ooh. She could not give a fuck about that scene.
My little brain was like, oh yeah, Brendan Fraser.
I do love Brendan Fraser.
You did just, you are married
Everyone
to a
loves
man.
Brendan
What's
Fraser.
happening?
He's a
he's
national
great.
treasure.
He's great.
Yeah, oh my god.
What the fuck?
Steve is just Brendan Fraser.
No, he's Mr. Beast.
Steve is just Mr. Beast.
Please
Yeah.
never say that to him.
He's gonna listen to this post show.
No.
Alright, perfect. Okay.
No, Kball's in the show now. He's over it.
Yeah, that's fair.
He
That's fair.
doesn't listen to it. He
Okay.
sucks.
We're
He
good.
just gives us money.
He does just.
The audience can't see it, but I'm saluting to Steve. God bless.
Is Steve the sugar daddy of our show?
Oh,
Yeah.
how could you? No, don't stop it. No.
I love it. You know
Oh
what?
no.
I love people who just listen. I love people who donate. All of you are great.
Yeah, we love you guys.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I think Rock went out how I wanted them to. I didn't get to have my like one-liner send off, but as I kind of thought about it, I was like, it's probably for the best.
Yeah.
I like that Rock was really just like, it's a kind of cool way to die. Hey, take care of those motherfuckers, person who I don't know if he still like us or not.
I honestly, I was like, because I was like, okay, here's the layup, here's the opportunity for Rock to say some shit, and then you were like, this is a pretty cool way to die, and Sam's like, don't die. Like, don't die right now. And Rock's like, I don't think I got a choice.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of fucked.
Think
And you
it.
turn to Trinket, not Sam. You're like, yo, please take care of them.
There was a moment I wanted to say, but I realized I didn't have enough time where I wanted to like look at Trinket, say that, and then also be like, I don't mean to put that on you or not, but like,
sorry.
And then have that be how Rock went out. But no, I like the importance of just like, it's your job now. You're the science guy now.
Science guy now. Well, it also makes sense too, right? Because like Rock, I feel like Rock kind of took it upon themselves when Reagan stepped away to like actually try and take care of Sam and Jaeger. Just like I think of the line of like, I'm just trying to make it more homely, and like Sam and Rock were both kind of like fighting over just trying to like keep things together, and Jaeger's just like sitting over there being really angry and upset. And now Trinket's like the new person. Trinket's the other. Trinket's the person who's like coming into this like foreign situation with like her own arguably worse than you guys levels of trauma.
I mean, you guys are getting there. Like, just lose a couple more members, and that'll be for you.
In a weird way, I guess, kind of looking back, for the first half of the show, it was very like there's not really a hierarchy in terms of like where the agents sat, but I always saw Reagan as team leader and then the rest of us. And then when Reagan left, it felt like I assumed team leader for like a little bit, and it did not work. It's kind of, I'm gonna make parallels to Power Rangers here, but it'll make sense. It felt like the cocky Blue Ranger became the main Red Ranger and was like, I know what I'm doing, and he does the fuck not. And it's not till like they have to like go away or like die horribly that they realize that they were not the leader, and then now Trinket is.
Right. Well, I mean, I do like that you just in this post show like actually threw the role of leader onto Trinket.
I mean, okay.
Scroll of truth. Everyone else too stupid to be leader.
The thing is, it's like
No! Oh, fuck.
I don't even see it as stupidity because like Rock only became.
I didn't say stupidity. I said stoopy.
Stoopy. There you go. Stoopy.
Stoopy is less harsh.
At least in my meta mind, I almost said mega mind. Will Ferrell. Rock just like became because they just need to take care of family because like Sam is always like one tick away from being a maniacal maniac. Like
yeah, they really are.
Like
I think even Cal will agree with that statement of like Sam's been we were joking about this before the episode started, but Sam's pulling some Thanos level quotes.
Sam is one tick away from being a big bad. So they're always on edge. Jaeger thinks they're a big bad. In reality, they're just a sad baby with a volatile
You're
emotions.
Vegeta or Sasuke or
You totally are.
I'm a bad guy. I'll never side with you, hero.
And the show's about to get an insert of the wackiest motherfucker to ever exist.
We don't know that.
He's the wackiest motherfucker to ever exist.
Here's the thing. You have only played with me in like wacky situations. I just said
you said the name.
Hey, future Ellie and Cal, cut that out.
Delete that.
Let me delete that. Let me rephrase that because you are correct. Go for it.
I think that there's potential because in my history playing with this person, it was not just crazy all the time. I was probably the one that was crazy all the time.
They do have stankier old wizard eyes now, though.
Nice.
It's just crazy.
I will also say that you are correct.
We could use that.
He is not crazy all the time. However, he will either go wacky or the most traumatized motherfucker.
No, here's the thing. It's zero. Like as soon as we start the campaign, it's going to be 100%. So like 100% in full character the whole time.
Yes.
So I think Trinket is this nice middle ground of like, this is the straight man.
Yeah,
this is the one who wants.
Regardless, I will probably be the most grounded.
You will be the most grounded.
Hands down.
Jaeger, I'm assuming Jaeger will now go into full like.
Oh boy.
Well, I feel like it depends. I feel like as a group and like as we're looking at the situation, Jaeger does not have to go down a fucking terrible maniacal path.
No.
I'm gonna make a Hail Mary here. Jaeger will be fine eventually. But I sense deep within Trent this urge to just at least have an arc of full John Bernthal Punisher. Just full, they've taken everything away from me. I am now the arbiter of fate.
I actually have a question for you guys. It's like, Cass, especially what Parker thinks as far as you, because you're calling Hail Marys right now. Oh yeah, players' predictions. Predictions.
That voice lives on in the show, sounding more tired than I have ever been.
It's the player's prediction.
Where's my chime?
Yeah, the player's predictions one, as well as the account made this. But I want to know what you guys thought about. Do you guys have like a working title name for whatever that Eldritch thing is? Because like I don't want to name it because it'll be influenced by what I know about it. So like, what do you guys want to call that entity that puppeted that man?
Well, the puppeteer is always an easy option. But like, I also had another one in the back of my head, which was which was Reacher.
Reacher's pretty good.
Like he just fucking he can.
Yeah.
The Reacher's pretty cool. Okay, so we'll go with that for now. The Reacher. So what do you guys think about when the Reacher said that like we've all been watching you?
Yeah. So remember when they said that I had this, sorry, did you want to say something first? I don't know if you remember, but like back in Valance when we talked to the Shadow Man, who never really gave us a name, so we just have to keep calling him the Shadow Man.
He's a Shadow Man.
Yeah.
It's just funny because not a man.
Yeah. They're the Shadow Man. Like,
Yeah.
I remember we said that they look very feminine in some ways, but
They're
like,
non-binary.
very androgynous.
They're not even human. They don't have a gender.
Yeah. So
Their
but,
gender is
like,
Shadow Man.
Yeah, but like they were like, yo, Olm is here, but Olm is keeping all those motherfuckers back. Welcome to the motherfuckers.
Kind of a double-edged sword when you have like a giant light that's literally eating worlds,
Yeah,
but
it's like,
also
I'm
like
gonna eat.
the worlds being thrown onto that fire. We're keeping whatever the fuck the Reacher is out of
his friends.
worlds and yeah, like Olm was not good.
Yeah.
Olm needed to be stopped for sure.
But Olm was an issue that everyone had to deal with.
Because Olm was literally starting to fuck things up. Olm and Castell were starting to fuck things up to the point where you guys literally broke the clock tower once.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Going back to the Reacher thing, there's just this thought in my brain I want to get out before it dies a horrible death. I can see the Reacher, or whatever, if that is the name, being the twist that it's actually just a small girl. Yeah, exactly. That seems like some shit you'd pull.
We got
I like immediately was like, oh, this is some shit you guys did.
I mean, honestly,
I was like, oh, this is your fault.
honestly, maybe I just talked to Steve about the rest of the design of the Reacher. Get Steve's pointer. Steve makes some horrifying fucking creatures.
He's pretty
I'm not
messed
gonna
up,
lie.
actually.
I'm not gonna lie. In my head, I fucking got like, I listened to the entire thing, but I also hear with the and all that shit like that.
Yeah.
I was imagining like a very, very like
Got the Reacher's fun.
large like being sitting in like a shadowed room, but it's like portly, but with like small arms, but fucking like multi-digited massive
Salad fingers.
Yeah. And like it just reaches out and like, they just go into little portals and the portals
I like
fucking
that.
go into something
It
else.
looks like
and
that bathtub motherfucker from Dune.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Wild
but with
how
like
different I'm imagining this creature to have.
Like,
different
I was
designs.
really thinking like Death Stranding when it was happening. Just like ghost hands.
ghost hands.
You never really see it. It's never really visible, but you just see the hands, and that's worse.
But yeah, also
You know how horror works.
I do know how
You know
it
how
works.
horror works.
Oh god.
It's a lot worse if you never see it.
It is a lot worse.
go.
I mean, you see the effects of it.
Yeah, that's
all.
enough. That's enough.
If I may make a request as I leave the show, please, more body horror, please.
More body horror, please.
More body horror, please.
No.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the issue with like trying to make enemies for ClockTower is that like if I was gonna do horror right, like there's like two options. If I do horror right, you never see the Reacher ever. But in order to like have a D&D bad guy, you guys have to be able to fight it.
Yes.
So like,
Or at least seal it.
Either
Really?
make like and legit, you can now go both ways. Where the Reacher is this fucking grotesque salad fingers Dune bathtub, or it's a small child.
Why not?
do
Why
both.
not both?
Why not both? Maybe it's a small child, but
small
then it opens
child
up and it's
yeah, I was gonna say small child like fucking costume.
yeah.
Then-
Oh, it's a small child, but then you see like the
Yeah,
the goose
it's
it's
one
like
of
a
the
whole
fingers.
other creature they're designing for.
It's one of
Just
the
like
fingers.
They just
small
do it
child
right for you.
anglerfish. I think I've seen that. On
Yeah, yeah,
TV
yeah.
It's fucking
before.
it's terrifying. It's
They
horrific.
did that in Bleach actually.
They do it now. You know what? Anglerfish are so common, and making
So scary.
making a child the anglerfish bit is just like.
them.
Well, the thing is that all
Yeah.
of the worst horrors imaginable are just at the bottom of our ocean.
Yeah.
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 There's literally a face hugger that is just at the bottom of the sea.
Yeah.
There's
Like,
a lot of things
yeah.
at the bottom of the sea.
Yeah.
There's a fucking
sponge.
shark down there that's huge.
There's a hole in the bottom of the sea, actually.
There's also a rock lobster.
Dog, there's a squirrel.
No, there's a hole. There's a hole.
There's a hole.
There's
a hole
At the
everywhere.
bottom of the sea.
But yeah. Fucking.
Parker just realized.
No, I still don't get it. I'm just choosing to laugh so I don't
You
have to
don't-
think about it anymore.
Oh my god.
We're old.
You understood my Trent?
Yeah.
This,
All
this
right.
feels like when someone was trying to explain to me the fucking walking duck meme.
It's like
It's a song. It's like an old
This
song.
is like no. This is like when we had to explain fucking mail to you that one time.
What?
Yeah.
There,
that
okay,
happened once.
okay,
No,
hold on.
no.
No, not male. All right. There's one of them in this room right now.
The postal system.
I know. I'm making a joke. I'm talking. I didn't know how stamps worked.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was 20 and I didn't know shit.
That's worse.
Is Sierra making a face?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You have to remember, I grew up very sheltered and with wealthy parents that just assume. Bitch. For those that didn't see, they just got up and then pointed to themselves.
Unreal.
You try to fucking learn anything from my parents. Jesus Christ. I love them both dearly, but they will just do something for you and be like, there you go. And I'm like, how'd you do that? They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I drive the car. Can you teach me how to fix the car? No, we just did it for you. How am I gonna do this if I'm stranded? Nothing.
You call AAA.
I hate it.
I will leave it up to Parker in the future whether we cut this bit out or not.
You think my parents give a fuck about the things I make?
On the way out, we shame Parpy.
That hurt even more.
It's fine. They love me dearly. They just let me go. No, you should get a test. They fucking they
do. I can say this with full confidence. Parker's parents fucking love them.
They don't have the capacity for creativity.
Parker's mom especially loves it. Like to guard like a sacred treasure.
Yeah.
AKA Future Ellie.
What?
AKA Future Ellie.
No, I love Parker on a completely different level.
Gotcha.
I love Parker in a way that look, hey, you know what? This beat Parker's going away, so I gotta be real gay for a second.
God.
The show wouldn't exist without Parker.
That's true.
Okay,
Without
Parker.
we wouldn't have even started this.
Parker fucking like gave me the motivation to get up and do this in the first place. So
We wouldn't have known
like,
what to buy in the first place if you hadn't been around.
And as they're stepping away from the show, they like 100% were generous enough that they said we can use all of their fucking music in perpetuity. They want the show to continue. They want us to keep going. They fucking taught me how to use Ableton. They did all this shit to like Parker knows how much work this fucking show is, and they were like, look, if you're willing to do that work, then keep doing the show. And you know what? Forever thank you.
This is my child.
I have two wolves inside of me. One of them wants to say thank you and keep it moving. The other one wants to be really homophobic. And I will choose to say thank you and keep it moving.
Huh?
Parker's reaction from years of toxic masculinity in them is...
Toxic masculinity and also being gay is just anytime I hear anybody giving me affection, I want to say the F slur. Like it just like it's like a shotgun shell.
That's not normal.
It's like no, it's not.
It's a weird like mix of trauma and repression.
Really? I've never heard someone.
Okay, wait, pause. That's wrong. That's actually very normal.
They want to refuse compliments viciously. Vehemently.
Yeah. Vehemently. Yeah.
You see, Trent and I do the commando handshake where his side is straight man toxic masculinity and mine is gay NB toxic masculinity. Our arms flex.
Yeah.
Look, I can explain this pretty easily. Have you ever been to a birthday party for children? No. So basically repression and trauma mixed with like when you are closeted and gay and then someone calls you closeted and gay, your brain responds with no,
hard right.
Fuck you, I'm not gay, you're gay.
I don't know if I would admit to having my homophobic thoughts.
Oh, I always admit to having my homophobic thoughts. They are there.
You're like that dog. That dog meme.
I know what you are. It's like that girl in the Chainsaw Man dog.
I will just state for the audience listening to this of Parker saying they have homophobic thoughts, they're very gay.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
It's also trauma and repression.
It's like self-depreciating humor.
Yes.
Yeah.
As I used to say to the straight men in my high school.
And they're learning not to do it anyway, as shown by this post show.
Yes. As I said many times, the straight men in my high school would always be like, "Why are you saying that?" I go, "I have sucked so many dicks, I have the right." Just facts.
Not how it works.
I have put in my 10,000 hours of being gay. I have dated men. I have seen their horrors. I have seen their unwashed bodies. They are hell incarnate. Trent's nodding.
I need to leave.
They are hell incarnate.
To be fair,
gotta go.
I would like to point out right now,
How did it go from me complimenting Parker to this?
I don't know. I love all my friends very dearly.
My perfect entrance.
Yeah.
Exit.
I love all my friends very dearly. I'm not only the token black guy, I'm also the token straight guy. So I'm like,
you are the token straight guy more than the token black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really.
Yeah. So
Being straight comes up as an oddity more than you being black.
Yeah, it does.
Because we all just don't care.
But I love it though, and it's very funny to me because I get to just kind of go, what? And everyone goes, this. I'm like, I'm not gonna say that. I just walk away. Yeah. But then I do it to you guys about black shit, so it's funny as fuck.
It's brewing inside me, but
fuck.
I've done my hours. I understand, and sometimes it's hard for me to accept compliments. But this time, I'm gonna choose to say thank you and keep it moving.
Yes, this is my child. I love them very much. But God damn it, are they stupid sometimes?
Parker, you've been doing this a very long time. So, what's your favorite part?
Oh God, of the show or of my character or both?
Both.
Anything, man. The whole experience.
What's your highlight?
I will say for Rock, it is twofold. For Rock, it is the conversation with Fife and that full character arc revitalization.
Yeah.
Understanding that hatred that was burning inside them is only slowly eating them away, and that they can learn to be better. And then also, for me, being able to have that emotional moment and then still routing it back into the incessant comedy of the character by when Fife is like, so like the name's like, it's Rock, it's spelled with a K. And I just like saw one by one the entire crew just start to break because everyone went, isn't that how it's normally spelled? And that was a great comedic moment, wrapped it into an emotional moment. And I guess for the show itself, kind of a weird answer, but the discussion surrounding do we let Lily die?
Yeah.
Because what happened? The show just like it happens, it goes. That was like a 2-week long argument.
Yeah.
Over whether or not we kill this person, and
not an argument to whether or not it was going to happen in the show. An argument to whether or not we were going to keep it in the show.
Yes, an argument to whether or not we were going to keep it in the show, and that was very fun to be a part of. Looking back, in the moment, it was infuriating because I felt like I was the only one on this island being like, "It's fine, we're a dark show. We walked through ashes of people. It don't fucking matter."
Wait, I thought it was like, no, it makes sense.
I think you were with me.
Parker was really arguing with me because I was worried about the reception of Lily getting betrayed.
Yeah.
And I was like, because it sets a tone for you guys as characters.
Yep.
But really what it did was set a tone for you guys to have done a mistake, like a big sin.
Yeah.
And now you spent the whole rest of the first season being like, we can't do that. We can't be that kind of person. Yeah. We can't go to these worlds and fuck people up and ruin their lives and then keep going like it doesn't matter. Like...
There were many different times throughout the making of the show that I had to like set my flag down and be like, I am riding or dying for this. And that was the one. And the fact that it happened kind of set the course for the rest of the show. So I think that to me is the highlight because I think it's the most pivotal moment.
I will also say, I've had people tell me that is one of the most important parts of the entire show.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
So, well done. You were right.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
2 years later, you were right.
I was right.
Yep. Learning that you can be better as a person is a key moment in any character's life. And the thing is, it's also hard to do every single time because when you're doing that, you also have to. Am I fucking this up? Am I making this worse? Am I somehow making it so that these characters are like not becoming like relatable? When in fact, once other people hear it, it becomes the most relatable thing because everyone's had that problem. Everyone's had that thought of like, I fucked up and I should have done something better and I could have done something better, but I didn't do it and I have to live with this now.
And I guess to wrap up my point, and I am now starting to feel bad that this whole post show has been about me.
No,
it's your send-off post show!
It's the point!
Babe, do you want to say a thing? Is that why you're standing over here?
No, I just want to be here for the end and...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Girlfriend essence. A lot of reasons, like many different things went into me deciding to pull away, but as I kind of started looking over it, I'm a big fan, and Ellie knows this, I love finality in entertainment.
Yeah.
I hate when things are left open. I will refuse to watch a TV show if it has not had a firm end, which is then funny because I myself as a person have a fear of finality, but don't worry about it. Rock's character arc is done. It's from the finale of season 1 to kind of eking into here. He's finished. He started as this angry asshole idiot.
PTSD.
With extreme PTSD and kind of transformed into this lovable asshole idiot who has realized that they have to do a lot of unlearning to be a better person. And they still faltered. I think back to the trinket moment where they were like, dude, we remember we fucking traumatized that dude in his home. And I'm like, shut up. It's not the point. I'm also now I can't wait to go, like, as a fan, go back throughout the show and just be like, what are the moments Kball and Trinket were annoyed with me while we were recording? And I think that's one of them.
Every time we're on the screen together.
Oh my god. Kball right now is the epitome of the wheelchair meme where the girls were just like, you think I feel sorry for that bitch? I don't. Just great skills, one of my greatest friends. But Rock's done. Rock had everything finished. Rock is donezo, and what better way to send Rock off than kind of aiding into other people's character arcs? Sam's gonna turn into Thanos, Jaeger's gonna turn into the Punisher, Trinket will be upset.
Well, it's also one of those things that, like, Rock, for once, didn't go out throwing themselves into the jaws of death for no reason and leaving their team to pick up the pieces. Rock threw themselves into the jaws of death to save their team. To, like, make sure that everybody got out finally, even if they didn't.
What is that face?
And now we have to pick up the pieces.
Well, yeah, but you'd live.
In like a sad, terrible
Yeah,
way.
It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. I enjoy it.
Can I say, when we started this session, Ellie was like, Trent, I'm gonna make you cry. I'm like, no, no, you won't.
I almost got there.
You got me close because you know me. You know me as a player. A fucking noble sacrifice to save your friends will always be the one I'm like, ooh.
Look, Trent,
Okay.
I didn't get you now.
Look.
I'm gonna get you a couple weeks from now.
Yeah.
You're gonna give me one play the next one when I fucking have to like play
When
it
you
out.
hear Rock's theme that Parker made behind Rock's death, it's gonna be a
No,
lot
it's, I mean,
worse.
it's gonna be the fact of me having to play Jaeger and having to go through the emotions of realizing that, that Rock is gone. It's gonna be the one that
Yeah,
I'm
the
gonna be
next
like,
episode's gonna be heavy.
And I guess
Well, the next episode's gonna be Wacky Fun Death Race.
I mean,
the
the
one
next one we have to play.
The one, yeah, the next episode we're gonna record is gonna be heavy on so many levels. So
Also, sorry.
No, go for it.
I was gonna say also fucking you know what Jaeger's gonna do. Eternal fucking revenge against this fucking whoever puppeteer Reacher guy.
fucking Jaeger didn't even see it.
No, but he's gonna learn the story, so he's gonna be like, I need to fucking find
The
it.
thing is,
I'll
and
find it.
it's, once again, this is my own headcanon. It may not even come true, but based on these scenarios, how I know Jaeger, I just now picture Jaeger's art doing the John Bernthal Punisher scream, and you know exactly which one, like that fucking just like guttural, like I just like I can feel it within you.
Before we get too far away from it, I would just like to say, in all of our time doing ClockTower, I have a favorite memory of working with Parker, which is Parker and I, when we first started doing the show, this is kind of a two-part thing, because when we first did, I went over to Parker's studio at their old house. And it was like a small little room.
It was the fucking studio.
And we like tried to edit the first episode, and Parker at the time had no idea what we were doing for a D&D podcast. I had no idea what we were doing for a D&D podcast. I knew how I wanted it to sound, but I had no idea how to even articulate that to Parker in a way of like, I didn't even know what terms to use. I didn't know how to explain everything. I didn't understand the concept of dead air. I didn't understand like all of it. And Parker was like, we're gonna get it done. And I was like, all right. And we did. And that first episode, not the best, but we got here. It led to all of this, and it was that, and it was all of the times Parker and I spent in the trenches where we were just literally sitting basically back to back in my old room, editing the show, working on the show. Parker would be like, hey, I need to know what you think about this thing. And it was one of those things where like more and more as the show went on, Parker needed my advice on like how the show was supposed to sound less and less, because Parker ended up like carving their own niche for how the show was supposed to sound, and it got to the point where like I can specifically remember the night I like completely took my hands off the wheel on like how the show was supposed to sound, because Parker fucking had it. And that was, we were in the kitchen, and I was like, what the fuck are you gonna do for this song? Parker's like, I'm gonna be inspired by music from Donkey Kong Country. And I went, no, you absolutely are not.
I will give context as well. We were doing Wagon Wheel, the sewer music.
Yep.
And I had, sometimes during old work days, I would spend about 2 hours doing research, something I probably need to start doing again. And I was specifically watching the 8-bit music channel as they were going over the music for the water section of Donkey Kong Country, I think 1.
Fuck that section.
And fuck that section. However, they talked about how using a repeated melody over long chord progressions can give a sense of ambiance and shifting melody when in reality there is none.
Mm-hmm.
And that made sense to me. But of course, I don't know how to tell anybody what's going on in my brain, so I just looked at Ellie and went, I'm gonna do Donkey Kong Country.
And I went, oh, my break it here was do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And I was like, no, you fucking aren't.
No. Shut the fuck up. And I was like, no, I literally remember like, no, you don't understand. I pulled up the Donkey Kong Country water like level, and you were still like,
No.
this is a 16-bit video game, Parker.
I was like, what are you on about? And then Parker played for me the sewer song, and I was like, oh my god, it's like perfect. And I was like, okay. And it is weirdly full circle that in that old studio, I was telling Parker how the show needed to sound in order to make it match up with what I had in my head. And then Parker got to the point where they didn't even have to ask me for advice. They didn't even have to ask, like, they already knew how it needed to sound. And then now it's come full circle to the point where I'm editing the episodes and Parker is like, you need to do this to make it sound like this. And it's just, I love you. Thank you for everything. I gotta miss the fuck out of you in this show. I mean, I know we're
I'm not dead.
I know, but you know,
I live down the street.
We still feel it.
I know.
There's
Being a dick.
to quote you, there's a finality to this.
There's a finality to this.
And I gonna miss you.
I miss you too. And I will leave off on this note, which is I am excited now to be a fan, not a worker, and see how the show progresses with my hands off the wheel and just enjoy it that way. And then finally, to throw it back full circle to the days where you and I were sitting together working on episodes, I feel like it's only right.
God damn it. You can't play this. It's gonna get bleeped.
It's on a Patreon. I don't care.
It's on Patreon.
Wait.
And for those that don't know, I have tormented Ellie with Thundercat's Dragon Ball Do-Rag more times than I can
I
count.
have to find. You need to send me the link to this song. And
Oh, I know. I've given you more work.
And now I have to fucking. I either have to bleep the whole song, which I can't because it's playing in the background.
I know.
We can get. He could be like, "Yo, take that off."
No, he's
Copyright
not.
strike.
Absolutely not. This isn't coming out on YouTube. It's coming out on Patreon. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're fine.
And this is a part of our history.
Because Ellie and I used to share headphones.
Or at least a headphone jack. And every so often, just to torment her, I would play this song for like a couple seconds just so I could like almost like Pavlov dog the fucking sound of it. And now as she hears it, all she can feel is just this exhaustion. Not dread, not pain.
Yeah, and it's
Exhaustion.
coupled with the fact that I now have to do even more work.
And you know what? The torch has been passed.
Did I tell you I got hit with a haze I aimed at you?
What?
I literally in the last post show, the first post show of season 2, I went, "Hey, I want to say a thing Parker's gonna have to cut out later." And
Oh, you did tell me this, yeah.
And I was like, our website's down, and I had to cut myself in, being like, "Hey, Future Ellie, I fucked up."
To quote something I said not 10 minutes ago, think I feel sorry for that bitch? I don't.
But with that being said, I wanted that to be the thing that ends off on.
Well, we forgot a thing.
It wouldn't be a post show without forgetting something. And on that note, unless anybody else has anything they want to say,
Thank you, Parker.
Thank you, Parker. Yeah!
I know what you are.
What were you looking at?
Myself in a mirror I couldn't see. And on that note, thank you for watching another episode of Clocking Those Towers, the Clock Tower post show. I'm out of here. And Ellie, sign us out.
Till next time, time's ticking. See you in the clock tower.